It's CCR, Chelmsford Community Radio, broadcasting to the city of Chelmsford on 104.4 FM and online, of course. Now, the people of Gallywood this time of year usually celebrate a big festival in their area, and unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic, they've taken things online. So on their website, you can now find some very special contributions from the people who live in Gallywood.
Hola! Hello there! Welcome to Hours Under Session. Welcome out today.
So black! So black! So black! Welcome to Lathcote's Farm. Established in 1912, we've been growing fruit for over 100 years.
Hi, I'm Michael. I live in Gallywood and I'll be playing for the Gallywood Festival. Please come and find me on the festival website at www.gallywood.org.
Hello, I'm Sheila Norton. I'm an author and I live in Gallywood. I'll be reading a short extract from my new book, The Lonely Hearts Dog Walkers, for the Gallywood Festival.
Hi, my name's Tony Cruz. I've been asked to speak to you about the Gallywood Festival. I've contributed 2 projects to the festival, both involving my camera and the photographs I produced. You can find my photographs at www.gallywood.org.
So lots of tasty treats for the festival online. I spoke to Chairman Anthony McQuiggan to find out more.
I'm the chairman of the Gallywood Festival 2020 committee. So the festival's actually a small unregistered charity. And we were brought together in 2014 to provide a festival on an annual basis in Gallywood. So we have a small committee that organises everything, and we were going with great gusto when COVID-19 suddenly reared its head, and we realised that we couldn't run the festival as we had in previous years, where we'd had concerts and readings and book readings and picnics in the park or picnics in gardens with groups of singers and things. So all the collective events that we'd had in previous years obviously just wasn't going to work anymore, and we wondered what to do. We wondered if COVID was going to finish soon enough, but that became clear that we'd have to have an online virtual festival this year, and we started to hunt down lots of events and recordings, and we went back in our archives and other archives in the village to look and see what we had from previous years and whether we could get permission to use that on a website, and that's what we did in the early part of this year, and we gradually brought it together. It's all on one website called gallywood.org, so you can go to gallywood.org and have a look. We have lots and lots of videos, lots of readings, prayers from St Michael and All Angels Church here in Gallywood every morning, and readings from the Oral History Project. So Christine Wybra, who's a lady of the village, local historian, has been studying the history of Gallywood for a long time, and is a Gallywood lass, and she lived here most of her life. So a series of interviews that were done with her from the Gallywood Historical Society, and those were made available to us. So we have one of those interviews every day. They're about an hour long, but they are really worth listening to. We have some fantastic concerts and pieces by local musicians, local singers, a lovely local artist. We have people who have written books and novels and are reading part of their new books each day. So a whole host of different things. We've had musical artists who've contributed new pieces that they've written in lockdown and have appeared here on gallywood.org for the first time ever, so they're out in the wild now, and we have lots of old things as well, so some marvellous footage from the 1960s of the carnival as it was in the 1960s, and everybody parading up and down Watch House Road, and the prize giving and tug of war up on the common then. And we'd like to perhaps do some of those things again next year if we're able to, but bringing everything together online has been an interesting process, gathering the information together, and we've had tremendous response, hundreds of hits to some of our Facebook posts in the village, and on the festival website, people looking at all sorts of individual videos, and we've been tracking how many people have been watching those and attending some of the virtual talks. So it's been a great celebration. Annually, since last year, we've started to do a scarecrow competition. We did that for the first time last year very successfully, with people building their own scarecrows, families, schools, the library, the church, everybody getting together in Gallywood and celebrating life in the village, which is what the festival's all about, and putting the scarecrows up. And we wondered whether we should run it this year or not, and we took some advice, and we looked around at what other villages were doing up and down the country, and there were lots of competitions being run. So we decided to run the competition this year, and there are lots of scarecrows up now. They started to go up just before Saturday was the first day, so they were beginning to arrive in the days before that. They're up all week. They'll be taken down next weekend on Sunday, when we'll appoint the winners of the competition and announce those on our live on our website on Sunday afternoon. So that competition's being judged through photographs now, because we can't, the judges can't go round and inspect them individually and talk to the builders. So we've asked everybody to send in photographs. So on the website there's a parade of all the scarecrows. So if you want to come and have a look at them, you don't have to visit Gallywood. You can go to our website, www.gallywood.org, and have a look at what's there, and come and see and join in. And it is just for Gallywood really, but we're very happy that people join us from around Chelmsford and come and celebrate some of the nice things that are going on in our village today.
This is a reincarnation, isn't it? Because you mentioned the carnival starting in the 60s, and did it drop off for a while and then you came back in 2012? Is that how it worked?
Yes, there's been a tradition of fairs and gatherings on Gallywood Common for a long time. Of course, when the racecourse was here, there were several races a year, and that brought people together. It was a little bit of a den of iniquity at one stage, which is what persuaded Mr. Pryor, who lived at Highlands House, to build St Michael's Church right in the middle of the racecourse, and that was an attempt to bring some prayer and some worship onto the common, where there had been cockfighting and all sorts of nefarious activities going on. So the festival was born out of those times, and people gathered on the common, typically with lots of horses. There were lots of carnival type things, and that evolved in the 50s and 60s to an annual carnival procession. And as I said earlier, there's a beautiful video on the website of that early carnival. And in 2011, as part of the parish plan, this was sort of put out as part of a public consultation by the parish council. Did did the village want to have carnivals and that sort of thing in the future? And it was decided to run a pilot in 2012 for the Queen's Jubilee celebration, and that brought together lots of people in the village. It was a fantastic celebration, and organised by a number of people in the village, and lots contributed towards that. So that went very well in 2012. 2013 was a bit of a gap, and nobody really had organised anything. So by 2013, a number of people realised that we needed a committee to organise that, and the committee was formed and has run the festival every year. The charity is obliged to run some sort of event every year, and hence we've run a virtual event this year where we couldn't run a physical event.
And you brought in scarecrows last year. Whose idea was that?
That came out of a discussion of what we could do in different years. There've been a number of different things introduced each year, some with great success and some that weren't terribly well supported. And Janet Duggan came along to a meeting here of the committee in Gallywood, and just dropped in gently into the conversation that how about a scarecrow competition? And scarecrow competitions in villages go back hundreds of years, and they've been organised right across the country to build scarecrows to go out into the fields and to scare the birds, and I guess people as well from being out in the field. So it's a very traditional thing for a village to do, and we introduced that. We wrote the rules for a very simple competition, which we changed a bit this year as a result of COVID-19, so that we didn't have visiting anymore, and so the festival sort of has grown a little bit this year, slightly different form, but significantly well supported. We've had a number of people who the rules say you should have registered by Saturday. And we've had a number of additional people who've put up scarecrows, and some absolutely fantastic scarecrows you'll see from the website. Too late to register into the competition, but nevertheless, there's still people putting them up now as they see their neighbours putting them up around the village.
How exciting! So, are you on the judging panel for these scarecrows?
Yeah, there are 4 of us on the judging panel. So, and I've been in isolation, so I shall be judging purely on the basis of the photographs. And Janet Duggan is also judging on that, and Bob Villa in the village as well. So we've got a great panel of judges, and we're judging in 3 different categories as well. So and 3 different prizes generously donated by local businesses, by our very own Gallywood winery that makes some incredible wine, and from Lathcote's farm shop, who've been providing vegetables across the village and delivering them to those who are sheltering over the holiday period, over the COVID period, and have been doing a tremendous job keeping everybody sort of well fed with fresh fruit and vegetables. So they've also provided some prizes.
You've come together as a community so amazingly well, and well done for keeping things going. All credit to you and your volunteers.
No, I mean, we've had a good team of people who've helped this year, and that's really good. And we've had some amazing contributions. I've been genuinely surprised by some of the things that are now on the website, and I never realised that we had so much talent in Gallywood, and we're proud to show that off to everybody in Chelmsford, and we hope you'll come along and visit our virtual festival and see some of the fun things that we get up to here in Gallywood.
So again, the website address is
www.gallywood.org, or just gallywood.org. It's very, very simple. We're an organisation for Gallywood.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for talking to me, and let's hope that this starts off for next year as well. A collection of more fun, more events, not just online for next year, but lots and lots of exciting things.
Well, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to talk to everybody and to spread the word as it is. And we've had, lots of people who are volunteering to help for next year and provide material for next year. And let's hope that we can do it physically as well as virtually online.
Thank you very much, Anthony.